it's Novelistine back again with yet another video. So this is the non-spoilery review of The Wife Between Us by Sarah Gear. No, Sarah and Gear. Okay, because I keep like mixing up like the first names with the last names. Like I keep calling Sarah Hendricks, but actually Hendricks is Gear's last name. Anyway, I read An Anonymous Girl like a while back, but I finally decided to read The Wife Between Us, which is their first book together. It's so good, y'all. It is so good. So the premise is you start, well, based on the whole, the front cover and, the title, you think that it's, they even say, oh, so you think that this is about a jealous ex-wife and the new girl, but it's not. It really isn't. Trust me, it's not. Um, and then you start to go into a web of deception, lies, um, several plot twists. I feel like you'll have, wait, one, two, hmm. I feel like you'll have like three major plot twists. One of them is kind of predictable, hence why it's a 4.5. And all I have to say is this is definitely, I feel like if you haven't read anything from both of them, I highly suggest that you read this book first before you read Anonymous, because I love this book so much more than their other book. I felt like, no, the other book on An Anonymous Girl, I gave it a 3 star, but this book is it. Oh my God. Like the twists and turns, like the way they deceive us. And like and it's no surprise because both authors, they ended up studying psychology in their college years before they met each other, and they're practically like sisters, and I love them. So did I even tell you what the book was about? Either way, there's an ex-wife who's stalking the new wife, and we don't know what her intentions are, but the first thing that you're gonna think is that, oh, she's jealous, so she's trying to sabotage the relationship. But you'll learn very quickly that's probably not it. That's probably not it. But I suggest that you sit back, relax, get the audiobook so that way you can listen to like the interviews later and how they met each other. This is so good. I just finished it just now, so this is the part where this is the part where I basically show me vlogging myself reading my reactions to it. So I hope y'all enjoy. I feel like the less you know about this book, the better. The writing style is so wonderful. They're very cohesive. It makes you feel like they're written by one person. And as I mentioned in like my spoilery parts, this is how I expect two authors to write together, as if it's one person instead of two people with two different writing styles. Kind of makes the story feels less disjointed. I don't know, disjointed. So I don't know. Luckily, I hadn't ran into situations. I know that Zenith had a problem with that, and with two authors, but it makes it sound like when you read the book, it seems like two different plot points and two different stuff. But you don't get that problem with this mystery thriller. And y'all, I was on the edge of my seat. I had to like pause, pace around. I was like, oh my goodness, I know this girl didn't. And not to mention, you have unreliable narrators. So if you like stuff like that, then this is the book for you. Anyway, peace out. Enjoy the rest of the video. I'm about to so yeah, now's the point where you watch the spoilers if you so choose to. If you have already read the book, this is the part where you go and watch the spoilers so you can react with me. Okay, bye you guys. So I decided to film a spoilery part of this book that I'm reading called The Wife Between Us by Sarah Gear Hendricks and Sarah, no, and no, I'm basically mixing the author's name up together, but it's by two women. I already read the other book, The Anonymous Girl. So this is the spoilery part. I'm just gonna film my reactions and everything. So I'm about an hour and 42 minutes in, right? And I'm thinking, you know what? Richard got a whole lot of nerve, right? So here's the thing. Within the hour or so, we already learned that we've already seen from the perspective of the other woman, the previous wife. Clearly she's planning something. She's been stalking, the other girl using burner phones and everything. And clearly she's not over Richard. And she did something, but we don't know what it is yet. And then we have Manela, I think. Oh God, I'm messing up these names. She's a new girl. And allegedly, according to the previous wife, who we can't fully trust, at least, I'm guessing she was a mistress, but I don't think she knows that she was a mistress, right? I'm bringing this up because what just occurred, okay? So so she's going through some stuff, and clearly we know that she is hiding I'm sorry, she's hiding some stuff about her past, and I'm thinking that she might have been sexually assaulted because the way that she was reacting when her and Richard was trying to get intimate with each other, like when Richard was like on top of her, and she kind of flinched and like kind of was more aggressive to push him away, even though that's gonna be like her husband anyway. So I'm thinking that's what happened to why she won't speak about Florida, which is where she originally from and when she went to college too. So I'm thinking that's what happened. And not to mention, she was really nervous about like this really weird person who was actually in a parent, because she's a preschool or kindergarten teacher or something. And during the conference, one of the parents, the dad, mentioned that she graduated from a school in Florida. Now here's the thing: she doesn't let people know her information at all. The new girl, right? She doesn't let any information. Like the parents allegedly don't know anything about her, but like she was instantly on guard because like she never tells anybody about that, and she kind of raises past her she kind of skips around the question whenever she's asked about her past. So anyway, she goes to this bridal shower, I think, with her friends and roommate. Which, by the way, there's this part where the roommate was no, she the roommate, aka her best friend, wrote her a poem. And the poem was so sweet, it kind of made me tear up. It was like, oh, I wish I had friends like that. Anyway, it was really sweet, and like she was mentioning how without her best friend, she would kind of crumple in like the state of New York because of what she'd been through. Now we don't know what she'd been through, but I'm thinking on, the sexual assault thing. So anyway, we got the whole so they're at the club, and one of this fling, right? This weird fling that she used to have is like, oh, automatically shows up. It's like, oh, so I heard that you're getting married and everything. And then she's like, yeah, I'm getting married. And then she mentions it in her head. Like, it's funny how whenever you're getting engaged or you're getting married, all these exes start to show up. True. And the other dude tries to push up on her, and she's kind of like, she was like, she admits that, with, sorry, I have to like kind of censor myself. Anyway, there's people in the house. Anyway, that, what with him was better than with her current fiance, but she pushed him away and she ran off. But then her friend, I think her name is Bo, said that, oh, your fiance is here. I was like, what? Now, mind you, she just got shown the house and everything, and that he's moving. And I don't trust her fiance, aka the husband who apparently cheated on the first wife that we know about, who allegedly. Now, I'm bringing this up because clearly Richard saw, and they're in the car, they're having a conversation. She's clearly drunk, but she promised, and she basically told the truth of it, that basically nothing happened, and it's true, nothing happened. However, Richard was like in a very threatening manner, was like, don't you ever cheat on me. I was like, really threateningly, and all I kept thinking, it was like, nigga, what? Because according to your ex-wife, the woman that you're about to marry and you're threatening right now, you cheated on her with you cheated on your ex-wife with her. You're threatening your now, I guess, mistress turned wife into, not to cheat on you. I'm like, the audacity of some of these people. And the thing is, I kind of want Millie, I'm gonna just call her Millie, that I kind of want her to like cheat on him, but at the same time, I don't know, he's so suspicious to me. Like, he wants her to quit her job, but she likes her job because she has two jobs, right? She's a teacher and she's also a waitress, and he's kind of rushing it with the whole quitting her job and everything, and say, oh, I can take care of you. And I instantly get suspicious. Like, I would love to be taken care of, obviously, but I don't know, the way he acts and his aggressive, I don't know, I just don't trust him. And then there's a whole he's really close with his sister. I don't know why I instantly think that what if the sister has something to do with something in the past? Okay, it's weird. Anyway, I don't mind my baby pictures. Anyway, so that's it, y'all. That's all I have. Yeah, I'm gonna continue listening to the audiobook and I'll let you know. Okay, bye. Hey, booktube. So I'm like, what, I think I'm on chapter 16 or 17 of the audiobook of so I still don't trust Richard at all, and I have a feeling that they just had a moment where Richard revealed some things, just a little bit about his past, about him working and stuff, and how Maureen was there for him the whole time. And I have a feeling Maureen, his sister, plays a bigger role in this. I'm getting incesty vibes, if they even are brothers and sisters. Like, what if this is a Christian Grey kind of situation, with an older woman taking care of him? And I don't know, y'all. But then again, I don't know, y'all. Either way, I don't trust their relationship. Like, I don't know. Like, I could be wrong, and that they could be just, brothers and sisters who are really close after their parents died. But concerning even before they were, like, really close, I don't know, y'all. I'm an only child. But either way, I don't trust Maureen. I have a feeling Maureen, like, here's one of my theories. I'm thinking that maybe Maureen and Richard are in, like, some kind of really weird incesty relationship, right? And what if they want kids? Because, like, here's the thing, Richard is 33 or 36 or something, so he's pushing it. But then again, men, they're always damn near fluid. Like, come on now. Like, some men, they could be, like, mad old and still make babies, but he's really pushing it with the previous wife and also the current wife to, like, have babies and stuff. Like, I don't know. And, like, then the other new girl, she's like, oh, I'm thinking about quitting my preschool job. I was like, no, you already quit the other job, and now you're thinking about quitting the teaching job that you like. And the mother pointed it out, because mothers know best, well, sometimes. She's like, I think he's kind of over, like, she mentioned that he has a strong, personality, but she said that she's worried that her daughter's going to lose herself in this marriage, just like the previous wife. And anyway, shit's crazy. I know that the previous wife, I know that we shouldn't trust her, but because she is an unreliable narrator, to be honest, a little bit. But then again, I think something else happened to her too, where she said that she said, well, it's from her perspective when they went to the doctors for fertility issues, and she didn't want Richard. Well, she didn't want Richard to be there when she answered the questions, but she was nervous, so she let him stay. And she mentioned that, yeah, she was pregnant before, and the doctor said, oh, an abortion. And then even though Mellie, not Mellie, the other wife, I think she did have an abortion. but because she did say that, oh well, it's not well, technically I was pregnant, and yeah, so she definitely lied about the miscarriage, but she was 21 at the time in college. But then again, I'm thinking, what if something else happened to her too? Like, I'm thinking that both of these wives, I don't know how this all relates, but I don't know why I don't trust Richard at all. Anyway, I have a feeling that maybe, just maybe, that, you know, the other wife also was sexually assaulted back when she was in college, as well as the new one, and that, you know, she may have had an abortion because she got pregnant from the situation. But I don't know how Richard ties into this. Like, I don't know. Is there a drug that makes you forget people? I don't know, y'all. Ugh, Lord. And yeah, I don't like the situation at all for Melly, the new girl. Like, she's gonna be, I don't know. She's already losing herself already. She already let Richard's sister be the breed her maid in honor, even though she wants her best friend slash former roommate, because she's now just moving, to be her maid of honor. And already, you know, he's kind of, I don't know, pushing himself on her. I don't know, y'all. I don't trust their relationship at all. I'm really scared for the both of them. I'm at the part right now where the other wife is now confronting the other girl, and she just said her name, so I'm forgetting. It starts with an A. But yeah, I'm really worried. Anyway, I'm gonna like come back later on and I'm gonna let you know more. Things are getting heated. I'm really scared, y'all. I'm really scared. Guys, I'm so shocked. Turns out, Millie and the wife, aka Vanessa, are the same person. The whole time I thought it was two different women, but turns out it's the same person. But turns out Richard, he likes to call Vanessa Millie. So the whole time I thought Millie was a completely separate person. And you know what? I really like that, because it really symbolizes how she felt the whole time. Because like she said that she hated the nickname Vanessa, and that she lost her friend Sam over the years. So technically the whole time it was her when she was younger getting married, and her now as an adult tracking the new wife, the new fiance, aka Emma. And turns out Emma was the secretary that Richard cheated on, and clearly she said, Emma said, I didn't mean to fall in love with him, and feeling a bit agitated and turned in. Either way, she clearly doesn't feel guilty about you know, being a homewrecker, basically. And basically, what else was I about to say? Yeah, and now we're going more back with her aunt, and as it turns out, what was it? Oh, so now we're going into the past. Her aunt, who's been taking care of her, has an excellent memory, and I'm thinking maybe it's kind of going in the direction of mental illness, because she said that her mother suffered from mental illness, and how she's having her mother had, you know, obsessive compulsions, I guess. And since, you know, she's kind of stalking her, the new wife, I'm guessing it's the same thing. So yeah, the whole time, and it's so good. Oh my goodness, y'all, I love the writing, because the whole time I thought that she was stalking another woman named Millie. Turns out it's the same damn person, but you know, it shifts back in time. So technically the whole time that she was stalking someone, it was actually Emma. So there's that. That's oddly yeah, which now that I know that it's the secretary, I was like, damn. But who knows, maybe something did happen during, you know, the marriage between Vanessa, her real name, and Richard, and now she's trying to warn Emma. But because she's like an unreliable narrator, we kind of still don't kind of trust her. So yeah, oh my goodness, I just had to say it. Anyway, I'm on chapter 20. A lot has happened, and she's still going on about her past. And during the marriage, she's becoming, I can tell she's becoming more compulsive, well, more kind of upset and obsessed with certain things, I guess. Maybe like she's keep going back, looping around to go back to the home that that they live in, just so she knows that she locked it, even though she knows that she locked it, but like, you know, double checking and stuff. So who knows? Anyway, I'm shook. But I still don't trust Richard though. I really don't. But then again, this is coming from Millie the whole time. This was all from Millie's, aka Vanessa's, perspective. So it's like, damn, she's definitely an unreliable character. And the whole time I thought that we were going through another woman's, you know, thoughts. So I don't think we'll be able to see through, you know, Emma's point of view, maybe. But, you know, but considering that Richard said, oh, she'll definitely do this to you, and, you know, already planting the seeds inside the, you know, the mistress turned fiance. See, I kind of want to hope that, you know, we stay on the unreliable character. But then again, it's like, if she really is telling the whole truth the whole damn time, it's like, would I feel guilty about Emma? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. That's honestly, I don't know if I would feel guilty if something happened to Emma. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Does that make me a horrible person for something bad to happen, like karma to like happen to the mistress turned fiance? I don't care. Bye. Y'all, I am so shook by this book. I'm gonna let you know right now that I love the White Between Us so much better than an Anonymous Girl. Oh my goodness. So here's what happened. So many climaxes, so many plot twists. So here's what happened. So turns out Emma, I mean, no, not Emma. We'll get to that soon. Turns out Vanessa finally confronted Emma. Emma didn't really believe her at first, and like she called, you know, Richard and say, oh, she's stalking me, and you know, all that. And I'm not gonna lie, as more stuff is revealed, I'm beginning to like feel, you know, more sorry for her, because my goodness, Vanessa, she's crazy. Well, okay, I shouldn't say crazy, but like she is very calculated, and the way that she was planning to leave Richard to make him believe that that was his choice because he was so abusive to her, and I do believe that he killed the dog because I feel like he killed the dog because the dog was getting a lot more attention than him because he said, "Oh, I thought you," because he keeps saying that I thought you were gonna be my hero, and bitch. So it was revealed that she orchestrated Vanessa. No, she orchestrated that Richard and Emma get an affair to each other so that way she can have, I don't know, some kind of excuse to leave my daddy's dying. So let me get through this quickly. But turns out, yeah, so that was her plan, right? And it worked. However, she feels guilty because now she's like, now there's another woman who's going to be abused by Richard, right? So she's like, oh my goodness, you know what? Let me go help this girl. And she does come off, very psychotic. I probably wouldn't, maybe I'll be like kind of scared and have certain doubts about her. So that's happened, right? And so there's a confrontation, right? And she's heading towards Emma's apartment to like say, because Emma sent a message, okay, so I want to talk, because she sent a message about the credit card and the wine, because she pretended to be a drunkard, to make it more believable. But yeah, it turns out it's not that. Anyway, so she goes there, and I kept thinking, it's a trap, and turns out it was a trap. Okay, that was predictable because there was no way in hell that she was gonna be that reluctant about it. And Richard was there; he was mad gentle. Turns out, so the whole time that they were trying to have a baby, it's Richard's fault. He kept lying about going to the doctor to check his sperm count, and turns out I'm guessing he's the one who's infertile. So, but like, oh my goodness, the abuser in him, my God, like really, you're blaming her and all these other people before you, and you couldn't ever. He kept blaming other women for his problem. So there's that, and I feel like when she mentioned that she was pregnant before and had a miscarriage, I think he knew that that it was probably an abortion, but I feel like he was kind of jealous because he comes out as such, he's definitely jealous about certain things, and he was very controlling. Like there was this one time when she was about to get a job, one of his colleagues offered a job, and he was very controlling, and he lied saying that she was drunk, and I have a feeling that maybe he might have drugged her just to make her appear more drunker than she is. But anyway, so she got escorted out, but she was kind of frightened when he came closer, but she was like resolved in her stuff. It was like, at least then, but now she has a restraining order, and she was about to do more desperate stuff, but then Emma calls again, and she's like, come here. And I was like, but this time she said something about her being right and that she wanted to talk, but this time, Emma being, I mean, not Emma, but Vanessa being mad smart, decided, what, let me check my surroundings first. And I was like, about damn time, I told you this. And at her apartment too. No. So they met in public. She said, make sure to follow with your own schedule, because Richard, he got you the phone, so he's tracking you on your phone, right? She didn't say that because she didn't want to freak out Emma even more. And when she revealed everything about the abuse, her being tracked, well, maybe not her being tracked, but like about the dog and everything, and she finally admitted to her that she orchestrated them getting together. And Emma is so angry, she like lets her leave, and she said, but before Vanessa goes, she's like, I'm sorry, but you really gotta like leave him. So if you got to leave him, blame it all on me. He'll most likely believe that you got caught by a psycho wife, and that's the reason why you couldn't stay with him. Okay, bruh. And like Emma came back and was like, you really would sacrifice yourself like that? And I was like, yeah. And Vanessa was like, yeah. I was like, because technically she would have been in a lot more trouble with Richard about that. So they orchestrated a plan to kind of trap him, and she's in the closet, and I'm like, oh no, Richard's there. He came in, and like he exposed himself when Emma said that Vanessa called before she could even finish her sentence, right? Because they were going off script. Richard was having a tantrum. Okay, he was like banging on shit and almost breaking shit, and meanwhile she's trapped in the closet. I can't sing that song no more, sadly. Anyway, so it turns out that's what happened, and as it turns out, more people. Oh gosh. So, she said that, oh, she just called to say that she's sorry, and that's when he starts to calm down. I'm like, Richard, I knew I couldn't trust you, and there's another person I couldn't trust, and bitch. Okay, so she's Vanessa is kind of planning ahead. For some reason I forgot. She called the shelter because when she was in college, okay, which I didn't mention, when she was in college, she had an affair with a professor. She thought she was in love with him, and then when she went to go confront him because she was pregnant with his baby, turned out the wife answered. And she's like, who are you? They kind of had a confrontation, and then she said, oh, it's because of you. And I was like, ah! Basically, the whole premise of this book is that men are trash and some women are trash. Anyway, so that occurred. She ended up getting an abortion. However, there was this one girl named Millie who was a new recruitant for the sorority that Vanessa was in at the time, but she died. And there was some creepy stuff going on by okay, so there was some creepy stuff that happened at the college with the brother who was very resentful of Vanessa, and she still feels guilty till this day because when I thought Millie and Vanessa were two separate people, through Millie's perspective, she was being stalked, and she thought that, oh, and the book makes us believe that it's probably the brother, but turns out the brother is doing just fine. He's still in Florida. He has a wife and 2 kids, and he called and say, "Oh my goodness, it is you." And you know what? I was in such a horrible place because he got a DUI and he went to drug and alcohol counseling, and her girlfriend, his girlfriend, was there to support him. And there was a scene before we knew all of this that the brother was there at her graduation ceremony because I think he graduated earlier before them because he's like a senior. Anyway, he was there and she thought she was stalking him. I mean that he was stalking her. Turns out he was there for his girlfriend who supported him throughout the whole ordeal. So and turned out, Richard, being the control freak, he knew all of this, but he let her believe that she was in danger so he can be, the knight in shining armor. And she's like, no more. So she sets out. She already got her life insurance in check because she honestly believes that she's going to die. I thought she was going to die too. I was like, oh no, girl, what do you mean life insurance to leave for your aunt who's going blind and shit? And as it turns out, she planned to like confront Richard, probably make him go crazy and almost, get killed. So that way, if she is get killed, at least that money's going to go towards her aunt who's old and like, yeah. So that happened. And she almost got choked out. And the thing is, Emma and the sister was there because they were doing dressing. I don't know, something for the wedding with her wedding dress. But Richard was outside. There was a confrontation. She presented all the evidence and stuff, and basically made him explode. And she almost got choked out. She she definitely had a head injury with blood. And it was earlier mentioned that, Richard, gotta let my hair out. Richard is scared of blood. So he was pretty much, he stayed there. And that kind of explains why her injuries never caused any blood because he's still scared of blood. Anyway, the sister's there and I knew it. The sister was going to show her ass, but like she said something to the brother and said, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Really sneakily, right? And I'm thinking that we reached the end of the book because the next chapter, the audiobook was like, so he's been arrested and all that other stuff. Vanessa is there to visit him, and the sister's there too, right? Because Vanessa, after all of that shit, she still needs closure, and apparently so does Richard. And turns out Minerva, the sister, okay, she reveals that Richard suffered in the car accident that killed their parents. Turns out he was in the car accident too, and I'm guessing he suffered some kind of head injury, and that would explain the cake topper because he bought it for their parents, and it mismatched the dates of when they got married. Anyway, so when Vanessa was there to give back the ring, the photo album, and everything, right? And guess what? So they made up. Vanessa gave the ring and stuff back to Richard, but the sister took it. And when the sister took the stuff away, and when Vanessa was being escorted out, they talk, and she mentioned earlier on in the marriage, back when I actually thought it was a stalker. Because here's the thing, I never really thought, I don't know, I thought when Vanessa was getting married, and when she was about to get married, that she was being either stalked by the first girlfriend or wife, or the brother who she felt responsible for killing the sister, right? That's who I thought. Those were like the 2 suspects for me because the girl returned the Tiffany's, and at some point I really thought that Millie, no, was it Millie? I don't know, the girl who died, okay? I thought that she was somehow alive and that she was acting out her revenge and like trying to sabotage Vanessa's marriage with Richard earlier on in their relationship, like with the whole calling the photographer to cancel. But turns out it was someone else. And that someone else was actually the sister. The sister was manipulating the whole thing, and she said, and the sister was basically saying that, oh, you and Emma would have never been perfect for Richard anyway. And I knew it because when she got the ring and stuff, and I think they try to, I don't know, side hug each other, Vanessa noticed a code slip, and turns out it was a ring, and the sister Minerva, who I'm gonna call Minerva, she slipped it on her finger. I knew it. I knew that she was having an incestuous relationship with a brother. I fucking knew it, okay? And to make things worse, to make like the plots even thicken, like I was like, damn. And it makes me wonder, like, did she do the same thing with the first wife? So now, fast forward, Vanessa is in therapy with her therapist, and it's later, and through that same chapter, it's revealed that she actually tracked down the ex-girlfriend, aka wife, that sent back the Tiffany's, because when they got engaged, Richard got sent back jewelry from and it was actually the choker, and it's the same choker that Vanessa has. Anyways, so Richard got sent back the choker by the ex-girlfriend, and she wanted to track, and by that point they have already been married, they have already been in trouble with the abuse and everything, and turns out she tracked down the girlfriend. And the whole time the therapist, who I thought was a completely separate woman, bitch, it's the ex-wife. Vanessa tracked down the ex-wife. She's always been conniving the whole time. And I was like, wow. So the ex-wife the whole time was your therapist and you knew it. And the thing is, when she asked what happened to her leg, because something bad happened, the therapist said, "Oh, I fell down some stairs." And then she said, and like the thing is, I think she went to the therapist to at least let the therapist know that Richard isn't gonna hurt anybody anymore because now he's getting help. The Emma left him and she told all of this to like I guess the first wife. And I'm guessing, and she's always been really cold and calculated, but it's like, okay. She's showing a little bit of emotion about that information. And it was revealed that, and turns out, I guess she got injured when Richard beat her, probably pushed her down the stairs, probably. And that's why she's been limping the whole time. But then, flashback to when, we thought that, Vanessa, when she was engaged, right? About all the calls that she's been getting and the time that she was being followed by the woman. Now, I thought the woman was like the dead girl, right? Turns out it was Kate, who's actually the therapist, aka the first, or how many other wives that Richard has had. And turns out she was the one making the phone calls, and not leaving a message. She was the one following Vanessa, and she was also the one who was following her because that one time earlier on, way earlier on into the book, we see Minnie, aka her nickname, she's like walking towards some cafe, and like she noticed a woman and with a green umbrella. And when she tried to look, the woman tried to scurry away. However, there was something wrong with her leg. And at the time, she thought that, oh, she probably caught on to something, but like she was very kind of worried. Turns out it was the therapist the whole time because she's the one with the limp leg. But if you thought that was crazy, bitch, imagine, imagine, like the plot twist, the biggest plot twist of it all, Emma. And that was the last chapter. Emma. Okay, so remember how I said that Vanessa and the professor had an affair, and she noticed that that they had kids and everything. Emma was awake at the time when she was supposed to be asleep. Yes, honey. And she went downstairs and saw her father, the professor, and her mother arguing, and how later down as the years go by before they had a divorce and everything, that her mother would constantly bring out Vanessa, the side chick, right? And then years later, when she graduated, she moved to New York, found information about Vanessa, found out that she was being married. And from her perspective, she thought that Vanessa was having this perfect life, right? And she planned on, getting towards her husband. She couldn't get close to Vanessa, but she could get close to the husband. So she managed to get a job as Richard's assistant, right? And basically pursue him. But then, because of all the information with Vanessa, with Vanessa being the one to orchestrate the whole thing, Emma was very shocked. And she found out that she was wrong about the whole thing between her father because here's the thing, when Vanessa revealed that she orchestrated Emma to get together with Richard, Emma had a breakdown and she said, "Do you realize how much it cost me to be, like the whole time I felt guilty about destroying someone's marriage?" And at first I'm thinking, now that this is revealed, I'm thinking, is that an act or did she really mean it? Anyway, so at that point, Vanessa revealed, like, I know because back when I was in college, she never told anybody this, but somehow she managed to tell the daughter of the professor. Okay. Anyway, she didn't know, of course, till now. Anyway, she said that I thought I was in love with him, and when I found out that he was married and stuff, I had to get an abortion and everything. She revealed that. And at first I thought, Emma was like shocked, not because, well, of course, of that information, but that she, I don't know, but I didn't think that it was related to like her being the daughter of the professor. Anyway, she had all these plans, and turns out she was wrong about everything, wrong about that. And she said, but since Vanessa was honest with me about setting me up with Richard, I might as well be honest with her. And at the end of the chapter, we found out that Emma reveals to Vanessa, like, hey, I'm the daughter of the professor that you had an affair with. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I thought that you were the woman who destroyed my marriage, when really it was my father the whole damn time. And at first, and of course, Vanessa, I think because they've been through so much, Vanessa's like, you know what? The truth will set you free, basically. And that was the end of the story. And they move on with their lives. Because, wow. This is so much better than the other book. Wow. Bitch. Anyway, I'm done. These are like two new authors I'm definitely gonna like keep a lookout for. I already read both of their published stories. At the end of the audiobook, I managed to like listen to like how they met and how they were very cohesive with each other when it came to like the writing process, and I loved it. I highly recommend the audiobook because at least it includes the interview plus like how they met each other, and I feel like this is what a book written by two authors should be. Maybe not in a sense, but the fact that they were it almost as if one person wrote this, and how they were very close together, and like how they said, when she would think of one line, I would think of the same thing, and somehow we would make it work together. And I was like, now this is what, multiple authors should be if they're trying to write a book together. Anyway, this is definitely, oh my goodness, maybe I don't know, maybe a 4.5 stars because there were some parts I was like, unpredictable. That's definitely it. But yeah, probably a 4.5 stars. Anyway, I'm actually gonna stop and I'm actually gonna record the non-spoilery parts. Okay, bye. And feel free to like, subscribe, and everything. Y'all, I'm blown away. Oh my goodness, bye. Read a book.